Be out with us to Porto, Portugal. We just spent a month in New York City and we're finally headed to Europe. We're super excited. We're flying out of JFK International Airport. It is one of the best airports to fly out of New York City, and it is super easy to get to. You can take A train to Howard Beach Station or E train to Jamaica Station and get on the air train, but be sure to have your MetroCard with you because you have to pay $8 per person for the air train. But it is super easy and convenient versus the taxi. You might get stuck in traffic. So we're now at the air train station and our flight is actually an overnight flight. We're having a layover, so we're first going from JFK to Charles de Gaulle Airport in France. It is 7 hours and 20-minute flight, and then from Paris we're flying to Porto, Portugal, and it's going to take an hour and 15 minutes. So as far as travel requirements go, as far as we know, we need the passports that do not expire within at least 6 months, then vaccination card, and we also did a COVID test. We did the PCR test 72 hours before our departure. I don't know if we would need to go through customs when we land in France. We're going to find out.
So when taking the New York City public train, you want to give yourself about at least an hour and 40 minutes. That's how long it took us for us to come from uptown Manhattan. Now, when you're staying in New York, you may be staying in Midtown in one of the hotels in Times Square or something like that. So it'll be less, but still you definitely want to give yourself at least an hour and 40 minutes to get to JFK. And again, this is one of the best ways to come here because the train is not going to get stuck in traffic and there won't be no accidents or anything like that, at least for the most part. So this is definitely one of the best way and the highly recommended way to get to JFK Airport.
We just checked in, and being still in the US, we noticed that upon checking in our luggage, they measure it in kilos right away, even though we're still in the US. So we were expected to get it measured in pounds. And on our boarding passes, what we noticed that they have the time in military time versus in just standard time. But luckily for Devon, I understand how to read military time. And also another thing I noticed, we have a layover, so our boarding pass actually has information for both flights. Usually when you fly with the layover anywhere in the US, they give you 2 boarding passes for each flight. We just boarded the plane, and what I noticed, I wasn't able to check in online because they weren't accepting our vaccination certificate. And the funny thing is, when we were checking in person, they didn't even ask for vaccination certificate or even COVID testing. So now we got blankets, pillows, headphones, and we will see you in 7 hours and 20 minutes. And we've arrived in Paris. We only have a 2-hour layover and we don't know our gate yet, and we still don't know if we need to go through customs. There is a security checkpoint, but the line seems to be really short. Looks like we're going to make it on time. Turns out there is passport control, but there was absolutely no line. We went through, it took us only a minute, they stamp our passports, and now we're ready to board our next flight. We have 30 minutes left before our flight, so when in Paris you have to have cappuccino and some French patisserie. I got this apricot pastry and medium cappuccino, and it all costs €9.
We are now boarding our flight to Porto, and it's only going to take 1 hour and 15 minutes. So this is a really short flight. I'll see you guys there. And just like that, we are in Porto. Now, something to keep in mind, when flying internationally, they charge us $70 per bag per person. Now, if you have 2 bags on your persons, the first bag will be $70 and the second bag will be $100. And we check different airlines internationally, and this is the going rate. If it's something different that you might know, definitely leave a comment below and let us know. whatever country you travel to international, was the cost $70 per bag.
We landed at Oahu Airport in Porto, which is about 15 to 20 minute cab ride to the center. There are several ways to get from the airport to the center. You can take a metro if you're on the budget. It is only 60 euros for the card, plus the fares start from 1.2 euros, but it counts by zones. So €1.20, it's only for 2 zones, and depending where you're planning to go, then the fare adds up. We decided to take an Uber. Yes, the Uber operates here in Porto, Portugal, and it only cost us 15 euros.
We just checked into our Airbnb, got a little freshened up, and now we decided to come out and explore a little bit, walk around, try to figure out where the key locations are.
And maybe get a bottle of wine and watch sunset. It is legal to drink wine in the park. It is so cool.
We lucked out. Just a 3-minute walk from our Airbnb is a liquor store. And of course, when you're in Porto, you have to have port wine. And we bought a bottle. How much was it?
€8.95
€8.95
for the bottle, and
yes.
It is cold.
And we got a little lesson on port and the different types of port, the different years and what it tastes like. We got a little tasting.
And yes, even tasting at the liquor store.
Yeah, it was awesome. So really cool. That's gonna be our spot, because we're gonna go now and maybe watch the sunset and drink this port wine. But first, we're gonna explore a little bit more, and we're going to take you along with us.
Just across the bridge from the old town, the main center, there is a park. It's called Jardim do Moro. I'm probably butchering it, but this is a really popular spot for you to come relax, catch sunset. It has a beautiful view of the old center of the port, and funiculars are going up and down, and there is a river. Super picturesque. So we're going to wait for a sunset here and have our wine.
Yes, and as you can see, there's performances that happen behind us. We have local performances here, which is really cool. So everyone is here and just kind of just chilling. It's a beautiful view from what we're looking at here, and this is just amazing. But we're gonna walk around a little bit more and then come back at this spot for sunset. So as you can see, we're now crossing the Ponte Luis Bridge. Now this is a long bridge. It has 2 levels. We're on the upper level, and right behind us in the distance is the park where we were before. I'm sure you could probably hear some banging and stuff going on. Well, down at the bottom, at the foot of the bridge along the side, there are musicians and local bands kind of playing music. There's a lot of restaurants down there. It looks really cool. But again, we're on the upper level, and this bridge is actually active because there's a trolley that passes back and forth on both sides.
And now we are heading to the historic center.
Okay guys, we're wrapping up this one. We made it really short just because we just got here and we just wanted to explore a little bit. But don't worry, we're going to produce so many videos while we're here. We're going to be here for a week, if not more. So we're back at the spot we told you. We're at the park. We're getting ready to watch sunset. As you can see,
beautiful spot.
Yes.
Some port wine, chicken sandwich, and pastel de nata.
And basically it's a custard. It's filled with egg, sugar, and milk, and it's going to be delectable. I can't wait to try this, and we're just going to relax. So we'll see you guys in the next one. Just be out with us.